don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey. What up? What up, though? What up, though? Welcome back to the hood table, to all my hoodies, subscribers, supporters, family, friends, all of the above. Welcome to the live, y'all. Make sure you click the like button and also click the share button. And if you are not already subscribed to the hood table, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for when you would like to receive notifications whenever we go live or upload. And we also can be found on Facebook, IG, Twitter, Stereo, and thehoodtable.com. But yes, come on in. I hope everybody who is a fan of Queen Sugar got a chance to watch the latest episode. It's now on season 5, episode 2, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen, it was titled Mid-March 2020. And a lot of people are feeling some type of way about, and let me know how you feel as well, but some people are feeling some type of way about reliving like the beginning of the epidemic, the pandemic, the from CBD-19, from when it first started, because that's literally where Queen Sugar is starting off. Like the first episode was titled Late February. The second episode was titled Mid-March. So they're coming closer and closer to when it got to the point where the country just, totally got locked down. So I think it seems like they're going like month by month, on Queen Sugar. But anyway, let me know how you feel, because while some people are like, I really don't know how to feel about Queen Sugar reliving, the beginning of the pandemic. But why? Because almost every TV show that has recently started a new season, they were recorded last year and they were filmed last year. And they all include, the pandemic scare, news stories, news reports, even down to Black Lives Matter. So I don't think it's like reliving it, because we still live in it. Has it passed? Somebody tell me something. Have we gotten past CBD-19? So yeah, as far as, some people saying they don't, aren't too fond of reliving it, we're still living it. Like it's still here. And matter of fact, they just, where was it? Was it California? Where somewhere I read earlier how they said there's another new trace of the virus or something, in another new state. So, and I can't remember off the top of my head, so I don't want to be wrong. But anyway, I don't want to be wrong, y'all. But let's jump into this review. And as always, please let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this season 5, episode 2. Episode 2, which was called Mid-March 2020. At the beginning of the episode, we saw how basically, okay, let me start at the end of last episode. So at the end of last episode, Ralph Angel, he proposed to Darla. And what do y'all think about that? Like, a lot of people is happy that him and Darla is back together, and I guess I should be happy because they have a child together. But I was so looking forward to seeing where Ra and his ex or the lady he was seeing, where they could have possibly gone. And I still think that she might end up in this season. I don't know why, but I still think that she might be a factor. You know how Evelyn says non-factor? I think that she might be a factor in this season. I could be wrong. Leland Vaughn, you said that's Cali. I thought it was. I said California, but I was like, no, I don't want to be wrong, so don't quote me on it. But yeah, I thought it was California. They found a new strain of the CBD-19. That's why I said I don't know how people are talking about they don't like reliving the beginning of the pandemic on these TV shows that are just now starting their seasons right now when we still living it. But that's just me. That's just my 2 cents on that. And that's on that. No. But yeah, so at the beginning of this episode, Darla and Ralph Angel, they were sitting at their kitchen table looking through some wedding invitations for the wedding. They were also looking at invitations to the engagement party and as well as RSVP cards. And I was just like, damn, didn't they just get engaged? And I guess I was thinking last week, but by the title of the show, I had to rethink it. And I was like, okay, so they got engaged, late February. It's now mid-March. So still it's been 2 weeks and already they, putting together engagement parties. So I'm like, what's the rush? Why is y'all rushing to get married? But I don't know. But anywho, let me put it on live chat so I can see all your chats in order on my cell phone. But yeah, so right now they are already diving knee deep into the wedding plans. And while Darla is going to be in charge of making the decisions for her dream wedding, the honeymoon will be up to Ra. And out of all places, he chose New York. Now, that is not a common place that people go on a honeymoon. Usually they go to the islands, somewhere nice and warm, where they can sit on the beach somewhere. But I guess there's certain places you can go to the beach in New York. But as far as their trip to New York for the honeymoon, I was just thinking would he have chose New York as far as if it hadn't been maybe CBD-19 hitting the States around that time, because it did start overseas, you know what I mean? So had it not been for CBD-19 hitting the States around that time, I wonder if he would have chose another spot. So I was just thinking, is that his only reason? Because he never been there and he wanted to, attend a Broadway show. But I do have a feeling that CBD-19 probably played a hand in that decision of his. But nevertheless, they really seem happy and excited, to get married, and she's excited about her dream wedding. So I hope everything really goes as planned, especially since in the show, this is the beginning of CBD-19 that's starting off. But as far as they are excited about getting married, Darla is not as excited about her upcoming management training position job interview. Now, had it not been for her boss, putting her up to it, I don't know if she would have even applied because of her insecurity. I mean, it's showing inside out. And as far as, feeling insecure and nervous about it, I can certainly understand why she feels that way, because as far as we know, since the release of Nova's book, everyone around town is most likely aware of Darla's past. And that past includes, as we know, drug addiction, rape, abandonment, giving up her son, Ra, to be, giving up her son to Ra, for Ra to raise him alone, and several other things. So I can definitely see why she's, feeling insecure about that. But Charlie did give her some key points for the interview, some tips. And y'all remember, a long time ago, Charlie and Darla have came a long way. Remember when Charlie couldn't even stand the ground that Darla walked on? Can y'all remember that? Right now, it's kind of hard to see that scene, that picture. But after Darla had got pregnant, after Darla had got on drugs, then she abandoned Blue, and Rob was stuck with trying to tend to the farm. As I wouldn't say he's the head of the household right now, because Charlie really be running things, especially with her deep pockets and everything. But Ra is in charge of their family farm. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that thing going, the sugarcane mill going. And Charlie, she was feeling, some type of way about that. She could not stand Darla back in the day. But now Charlie is giving her words of encouragement, advice to secure a job. And what Charlie has said to her, which is really good advice to anybody who might be scared of doing interviews, and that is me. Like, that is so me. That is so me. I hate job interviews. And sometimes I used to stay at jobs that I didn't like, that wasn't paying me enough money, that didn't respect or appreciate me, because I was scared to go through an interview. Man, that's like sitting in front of God and explaining to him why you should be allowed in heaven, knowing you done done so much shit on earth. You just be like, but God, please grant me some mercy. But yeah, Charlie told her in interviews about the future, theirs and yours. You want to tell them that their future will be better if they choose you. It's all about subtext, and of course, but sometimes you do have to be fierce out loud. And if Darla, goes into that interview with confidence and with her head held high, she won't think about her past or whatever she's done wrong. At least that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. But anywho, as far as Parker goes, the one that Charlie got into it last episode, and I did say, who do y'all think won that round? Parker. And I think Parker won this round too, even though they didn't even have words together. But Parker played Charlie like Charlie got stood up for a meeting. And it was very unprofessional, as Charlie says, substandard. Parker had cleared her entire schedule without giving Charlie a heads up, without having her secretary hit Charlie up. So what do you think Parker has up her sleeves? Because I don't know. I'm not sure. But whatever it is, it has to do with New York. Because after you saw Charlie make some calls, and she found out that Parker took a flight to New York the night before. And I was like, I do smell something fishy going on with Mrs. Parker. She's probably up there working on some plans to try to take over all the property down there in the parish. But anyway, Mr. Prosper. Let's talk about Mr. Prosper for a little bit when it comes to this CBD-19. As he should be. He's really concerned about, CBD-19. And not only because he's heard how it can affect the elderly and those with underlying conditions, but he doesn't have any family down there to care for him if he happens to get sick. Because at this time, as they said in I think Charlie was watching the news, it was at least 450 statewide deaths. No, I'm sorry. It was at least 450 cases and at least 31 deaths. And this was statewide at this time last year. And that is also what led Charlie to insist that, Aunt Vi closed down her bakery, for at least 2 weeks. So, Vi's Prize Pies is closed for business until further notice. And they did say 2 weeks, but I have a feeling, just like things went here, that it was going to go a lot longer, where they located. But anywho, after Mr. Prosper spoke with Hollywood about it, he did get some type of comfort, at knowing that he wouldn't be all alone. If Hollywood can help it, he won't be all alone. They aren't family, like as far as blood related. But Prosper, he was a very, very good friend of their father's. So to them, he's like an uncle, a grandpa, something like that. So as long as Hollywood is around and the rest of the guys is around, I'm sure he'll be fine. If he does happen to get sick, and I don't know why, but I have a feeling that's going to happen. I just hope he don't die. I hope they just don't, kill him out of the TV show. Because I like Mr. Prosper. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think might happen to Mr. Prosper. But yeah, as far as their community go, that's one of the things that I really love about the TV show, how close knit the community is, especially when something's going on. And that's something I miss from growing up. Like, I don't know, I hear people say that a lot, no matter where they from. Back in the day, how closer the communities were with each other. But I have faith that our community, at least, will once again have that tight knit feeling. And as far as us here, we do have a local election coming up in about a month or two. So hopefully, with changes, hopefully changes will start from the top to the bottom, top on down. And we'll see some of those changes as soon as the next election is this spring. And for those of y'all who missed our interview with one of the mayoral candidates, that was about, what day was that? Sunday? Today is Wednesday. Yeah, that was about 3 days ago. So just go back, scroll up, and check out that interview. That was a really good interview. But let's move on to Micah. Can we all agree that Micah is smelling himself something terrible? That boy is getting out of control. Like, within a year's time, he basically feels like he doesn't need to include Charlie in any of his decisions. And first, he didn't tell her he was going to attend Harvard. He had rescinded his application. And he didn't tell her until the last minute after he graduated from high school and they was at his graduation party. That's basically when he hit her with the news. Then he decides to join a fraternity that he knew she would not approve of. And when the frat was stepping, y'all, Charlie was looking around like, where is Micah? She was like, Davis, where is Micah? He's missing all this action, all this show, all this excitement. He's like, where is he at? When in fact, Micah was one of the mass pledges. He was right there in your face, girl. And she came to find that out when their leader or whoever was in charge told them to reveal themselves and take off the mask. And then come to find out, Micah actually joined the Gammas, he said, because of the fact that his father's fraternity didn't want him. And I was like, what's that all about? Because he didn't say why, and he didn't speculate why. But I wonder if it has something to do with his father's past, all the scandals that his father was in, or could it have something to do with Micah's prior arrest, or maybe both. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But on top of all that, Micah had invited both of his parents to the homecoming weekend. And on the phone with Charlie, he seemed anxious for her arrival. However, once his parents got there, he only seemed interested in his father's appearance. Now, let me know why you think that was, because I don't know. It was just a weird vibe. And I'm sure his mother felt it too, as if, why am I here? Like that feeling like somebody invites you somewhere and you just like, why am I here? But do y'all believe that it's because his father, is a former professional basketball player and Micah is just proud to let everybody know that, or proud to be seen with his father? Because I don't think Charlie has done anything wrong to him or anything to shame him. But his father sure did when he was sleeping around on Charlie with all those women. And let's not forget the child on the side that he had, because remember, he had a little girl, and him and her and Micah is almost around the same age. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to be seeing her this season, but yeah, let me know what you think about that. But did y'all see Micah cutting up out of jealousy? Man, this boy was acting a whole fool. Now his girlfriend, who he now has a long distance relationship with, she was just sitting over to the side, talking to some guy. But with her laughing and the guy laughing, and sorry, I had to get a drink. But with them laughing and carrying on, and for a little while, she wasn't so focused on Micah. All she was doing was talking to some guy. It didn't look like they were being flirtatious to me, but that's just me. And Micah, I think he obviously, felt threatened. So he started dancing all up on some girl. His mother, Charlie, was looking at him with disgust. Like, she was just disgusted. Like, boy, I know I raised you better. Like, quit acting like you ain't got no home training. But you know what, y'all? I am just waiting for the day when Charlie goes, Micah, where did I go wrong? Like, please tell me, just where in the hell did I go wrong with you? Because I have a feeling Micah is going to be a whole hot mess this season. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on to Nova and Calvin. I have to say I was really surprised at how welcoming Calvin's mother was of Nova. And that is not just because they are an interracial couple, but more because Calvin had warned Nova that some of his family is cool, while on the other hand, some of them just might try to hang her from a tree in the nearest field. Now, he didn't say all that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But his mother, she was being really sweet, like almost too kind, if you ask me. And I was like, she was kind of like, the peace or the quiet before the storm. And oh, what a storm it was, man. Lord have mercy. If I was Nova, I don't know how she managed to. I don't know how she held it together. And I can understand why Calvin's son, why his son James, I can understand why he wasn't too pleased to see Nova, because his ex-wife, Calvin's ex-wife, she seemed like the type who would talk shit in front of her kids, talk trash about their father. And you know what happens when that usually happens? The kids, they grow up hating the other parent or not want to spend time with them or not respecting them. And then the ex-wife Haley, she was talking about how he allegedly got around and around like Tupac. And I didn't know whether to call him a habitual cheater or a womanizer or disloyal, but whatever it is that he was doing, Nova was not his first black mistress. And from what Haley was saying, Calvin has always had a type, such as, being attractive to exotic women, being attractive to dark women, women of color. And to me, when she said exotic, though, exotic isn't just black. It could be black, Asian, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Chinese, In other words, it was anything but Caucasian. That's what she might as well have said. But either way, his ex-wife Haley, she asked Nova, how does it feel to be the other woman? The Miss family. And I know at first, she probably felt like, Nova probably felt like crawling under a rock, going somewhere under a rock and hide, just die. But that didn't last long. And in front of all the guests, Haley was telling Calvin how ashamed he should be when she should have been the one that felt ashamed. Haley was not only making a spectacle at his grandfather's birthday celebration, but she was also making a fool of herself. Like, can we say bitter? I just call it as I see it. But Calvin's mother, she was begging him. She was up there. I just want you to keep your voices down, please. But oh no, Haley just couldn't stop. She went on to tell Nova that Calvin has always desired dark-skinned women, and he usually likes them thick. Dark skin, the darker the berry. She didn't even finish the quote or the saying. She was just like the darker the berry sort of type of thing. And how he usually likes them thick with big butts and all. And that was kind of like a drag to Nova, because Nova, she ain't bony. Now, she used to be real skinny. But, over the course of this last year, a lot of people, including me, that gained some weight, for sitting at home 99% of the time because of the CVD-19. Nova has picked up some weight, but still, she was trying to say that Calvin usually liked the girls thicker with big butts and all. But when she was talking to her, I thought Nova was about to haul off and slap the piss out of her ass. But if Haley wasn't bitter before, she sure was after Calvin told her what he had to say. He told his ex-wife that Nova, even though he might have been with other women, he might have even been married to Haley, Nova is the first one he's ever loved. And that every woman before Nova, including Haley, his ex-wife, was just a way to pass time. Just a way to pass time. Man, the way she scrunched up her face and looked like she just want to burst into tears and run down the road and drop in her car and drive off. Now, I have a feeling that his son James, the next time we see him, he gonna be upset at his father for making his mother feel that way. But I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that scene. But I am convinced that Calvin really loves Nova. At least that's what it seems like. You know, and for what he told her, she is the only woman that he's loved. And he will spend the rest of his life telling anyone who needs to hear it. And nothing is going to change. But my question is to y'all, how far do you think love will take them? Because with her family, they cool. But with his family, his ex-wife, his son, I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to Aunt Vi and Hollywood, my favorite couple on the show. They are preparing to celebrate the anniversary of their first date. So Hollywood and the fellas, you know, they've been working on his club, bar, lounge, man cave, whatever Hollywood called it. But not only is the grand opening coming up, but so is their anniversary thingamajigget. But before I go on, when Ralph Angel and Hollywood was on the phone, Hollywood was like, I thought I could depend on my brother to help me get ready for the grand opening. Ralph had told him, call your brother, man. Your other brother. Calvin, your white brother. Y'all, I almost lost it. Because for one, Calvin and Nova, they ain't even engaged. They ain't married or nothing like that. And I don't even know if everybody even feels that way about Calvin. You know, that he's as close as a brother-in-law. You know what I mean? Cousin-in-law, uncle, you know, something like that. But Hollywood was like, oh, so now you got jokes? And that's when Ross said, we ain't gonna let any white people in the club. So my question to y'all is, do you think they will let any white people in the club? And should they let any white people in the club? And I ain't saying this to say it should be an all black club because they black. You know, I ain't saying it because of that, but we know everything that they done been through down there in the dirty South. And, you know, them being harassed and people trying to steal land from under them and what they did to Micah. And, you know, I can go on and on and on. But if they do allow them in there, they better have some good ass security and some good ass bouncers. And with Charlie, you know, making people close down shop, I don't even know if the grand opening will even happen. You know, maybe that'll be put off too. I don't know. But child, the last thing I want to talk about, Aunt Vi. Lord have mercy. I can only pray that once I reach Aunt Vi's age, that I can have legs like hers. Y'all see them legs? I mean, I have always thought of Tina Lillard, aka Aunt Vi, as a very beautiful black woman. Like, very beautiful. And that was before I ever saw her in a miniskirt, child. The miniskirt that she wore in this episode, I was like, go ahead, Aunt Vi. Show legs off. Show us how you got that man in the first place. Because it was probably those legs that's on Aunt Vi that attracted Hollywood. Like, and can you believe that it's been 18 years? 18 years that they've been together, and neither one of them even looks the age that they're supposed to be. Excuse me. And that's because, of course, black don't crack. But let me show y'all something real quick. Okay. I just want to show some respect. Ooh, drink. Okay. I just want to show some respect and some condolences. Hopefully you guys can see this pretty good. But if you can see it, it says Carol Sutton, Actor in Steel Magnolias and Queen Sugar dies of COVID at 76 years old. And here she is. Actress Carol Sutton, who made appearances in Steel Magnolias and Queen Sugar, died Thursday night of complications from COVID-19. She was 76. The actor spent her last months at the Toro Infirmary in her native city of New Orleans, where she was treated for the virus. Is that all they said? Oh, hold on. Okay. They said New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell confirmed Sutton's death and remembered the late actor in a statement released on Friday, saying Carol Sutton was practically the queen of New Orleans theater, having graced the stages across the city for decades, she wrote. The world may recognize her for her performances in movies and on TV, whether it's Treme or Claws or Runaway Jewelry or Queen Sugar. But we will always remember her commanding stage presence, her richly portrayed characters, and the warm heart she shared with her fellow cast and crews in productions such as 4,000 Miles and A Raisin in the Sun. May she rest in God's perfect peace. Then they go on to say Sutton appeared in an episode of Queen Sugar set in Louisiana and played Nurse Pam in the 1989 comedy film Steel Magnolias, starring Sally Field and Dolly Parton. More recently, she held roles in episodes of True Detective and Lovecraft Country. Since her debut in the 1960s in The Shiki Project theater productions, Sutton has performed on stage across New Orleans in productions such as The Last Madam, Native Tongues, and A Raisin in the Sun. She made her own She made her on-screen debut in 1974 with the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, and appeared in movies like Monster Ball, Ray, and The Help, among others. Ava DuVernay, creator of the OWN series Queen Sugar, also celebrated the career of Sutton, tweeting, "It was our honor to welcome this veteran actress on stage and screen to our show as Aunt Martha in episode 409. Stare at the same fires. May she rise and rest in peace." So, yes. Rest in peace, and my condolences to her castmates, to her family, her friends, her children, all of her loved ones. And on that note, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Queen Sugar. And if you ain't caught up, child, get caught up. It's only on episode 2 of season 5. And make sure you guys like the video, share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table if you're not already subscribed. And also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, IG, Stereo, and thehoodtable.com. Stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant, and always keep it hood. Bye.